fear, in my opinion, is the best safety tool you can have. More than the halo, more than the runoff areas, more than anything else.
Oh, my good friend.
Yes.
Great to be here. I'm sorry I've just dragged you out of a racing car, and here we are talking motor racing, resilience, life, and anything you want to talk about, really.
I think every sport at high level, well, the only one I know is motorsport, actually.
Yeah.
It reflects the whole life at high standards. I mean, high performance. But unfortunately, I guess it applies everywhere. Sometimes life gives you lessons that are put you made. So now I'm 61. For sake, if I knew half of the things that I know now when I started my career, it's a wonderful thing.
Well, no, but you've had a wonderful career. You've achieved so much success and so many races won, and you've raised two great boys. What would you be saying to yourself if you were 18 years old now? What advice would you give to one of our younger viewers? Maybe a motorsport career, but any career. What would the advice be?
You know what? I was doing all right since day one. But at one stage of my career, I became development driver for McLaren. The time when the drivers were across Ayrton, Senna. This was, I just wanted to get into Formula 1. It was my way to get into Formula 1. And I was doing the best I could until I met them. And working alongside them, I realized they were, besides their road talent, they were doing many other things mentally, working harder, thinking more, motivating people more, realizing themselves better. So this was a very good thing that they got to eyes. They took me alongside two of the best of all times, and maybe after you did see what they were doing better, and try to learn from them. So if I were 18, work harder, have an assessment of your own limits, a better assessment, because you don't really know what things can be done in a better way. You do the best you can, but there is never a perfect life. There is never a perfect day. There is never a perfect meeting. There is always something better you can do. So, an honest self-assessment, it should not be too hard, otherwise you get into depression.
Give up,
and that's not
the journey starts before it starts.
Work harder, and sometimes when you are a teenager or young boy, you take life a little bit easier. So work harder. This is an incredible opportunity, Emanuele, you have from life. Don't waste it. And this is the advice I would have done. I would have given it to myself.
To have that opportunity. I mean, you were flying to Japan, was it every other week? I mean, this is, how many years ago was this that you were doing this? Because this is a long time ago, but travel wasn't as good as what it is now. And you were like doing your own racing, and then you were testing in Japan for the two of the world champions.
I've been working really, really hard. Especially in these McLaren days, I had to work in Japan, but I had to keep my racing career in Europe too. That 1 year, I remember 1989, I took 103 flights. So, all over the places. So one flight every 3.3 days.
I can relate to that.
This was.
I mean, I live in Guernsey, and so for us to get anywhere, it's Guernsey, London, then London to anywhere else in the world. But if you're in Japan, backwards and forwards.
But Paul, also another thing in a life like this, you meet a large number of very, very, very high society people. You can learn from everybody. And this is something that quite happy that I have. I never think I can do better or do better than this guy. So life has given me a huge number of lessons, and most of them I could actually grab them. And for example, from you, is the positiveness, resilience, and and I'm telling you, there's people who see their glass half empty or half full. This gentleman here he sees the glass twice as full, and this is really, really important. If I can.
But for me, it's just like, you are the man behind the success of Prost and Senna and McLaren. Took you the hours and hours and miles of testing. You're kind of like the unsung hero.
Well, it was rewarding. Also, they were very great. Prost was belonging to an older generation, but Senna, although he was 3 years older than me, they sort of were working factory together. I don't want to say I was a good friend of Senna, because when he died, everybody was united to Ayrton and me. I think he was a very kind person, so Ayrton was quite well from Master plus 4 and he was a very hard racer, but he was a very, very big artist fan outside the race. So he was very nice to it, and he was acknowledging the fact that I was working behind the scenes. The problem was, especially the 10th year, so 1988 was the year we did McLaren, which was the most successful race car ever. I would like to races I would say and it's the best car I ever drove. 1988. This was the first year. That's true. That's how I got good. Besides my outfit is already. Okay. And because he was very intense, like, of course, testing was free for this race. We had a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I presented to it this week, but she did put me on that. So we did test, and then this week, because we just miles and miles and miles, very enriching. So Ayrton and Senna was acknowledging this. So they're the ones who actually managed to publicly is that I'm really proof of getting that.
Was that the start of your F1 career then? So you did the testing first and then you managed to get a drive, or was it not like that?
One more thing I would like to share, because slightly doors and never give up. But every racing driver who starts a career wants to qualify for it. Yes, because start hard. Life is not so easy. I would say life is beautiful but not perfect. So I got to, at that time was Formula 2000, now it's Formula 2, so just there for the line. It didn't quite happen. So I was doing touring cars beside Welch BMW driver, which was a very good career. So it didn't quite work, so I said, okay, I give up. I said, I keep racing with the Works team in the World Touring Car Championship, very rewarding, very good. Forget about Formula 1. Then, at the end of my first non-single seater season, I got a phone call from a very good friend, Stephanie Wilson, a very good racer. Sometimes it's good to have good friends. Yeah. And he said, he was a McLaren driver from 1987. He said, Philip Morris was in a commercial, a very big commercial with TVs. I was up at the so 3 o'clock still at night, it's going to be quite big. Would you like to come with this plane? One day Mrs. looking for how did you like it? We're going to start with the AU. So did. So we went to Phoenix, Arizona. The director was Tony Scott. So it was a wonderful experience, a lot of fun. And then they told me, next year we're going to have Honda engines, because at the time it was a Porsche, and of course Stefan Johansson. We're going to have Ayrton Senna and I'm Prost. We look for a development driver. Would you like to do it? But you have to go ahead and sleep in Japan. Okay. So Japan, we didn't really move any closer to Europe now, but now the road is very small, the communication and everything. At the time, they were not direct flights. So it was an important decision, not the only one. It was an important decision. And by going there, and sometimes we're doing some Formula 1 tests in Europe and doing well, the next year then I'm doing Formula 1 and I go again Formula 1. So really sliding doors, but not only sliding doors, you have to catch the opportunities. Take it. And one thing I'm very happy with my character, I'm an enthusiastic person. Sometimes there are opportunities. When you do something like this, you always feel fresh, you're always tired. So many times I could say, no, I stay home. But good opportunities sometimes came up from small things. So just live the life at the best, because one time a good opportunity will come.
How do you stay so fit? I mean, is it discipline? I mean,
Discipline, yeah. But discipline is a balance. You know, if I say discipline, I'm not a priest and had a huge share of fun in my life. But I think sport is also self-discipline. So when it counts, you know, it's you've got to do it. And this did not really apply all the time. But my wise granny once told me, whatever you do, you should have no regrets. You achieve it, you don't achieve it, you become world champion, now you should have no regrets. And how do you have no regrets? Try the best you can and be ready whenever you can. This is an ideal world, but be as close as possible. So discipline is required.
and now you're responsible for, I think is it McLaren Young Drivers Program? What's the official title?
Yeah, kind of official title is McLaren Driver Development Program, because under this program there are, you know, McLaren has got the Formula One team, there are also Formula Indy team, the Formula E team, and the Formula Indy pilots are in this program. So this is the selection yet we just but basically the aim is to big drivers on the field, and each bike have an academy spot. The Rapids, the big rocks, like this one, this is
Yeah.
Williams. McLaren has a tradition starting with Lewis Hamilton, whose story is a very good story, because when he was a young kid, he went to London Gossip, that is stores. Actually, it wasn't a dinner. And he said one day I went to meet a white guy, and then he spotted some innovation. So, Carl spotted something special in this young kid, sport kid. You'll know what it is. So this was the first, let's say, example of McLaren's going to be a driver. And so in Lando Norris' case, Lando was signed when he was a Formula 3 driver. So McLaren contributed to growing it, bringing it to the level it is. Maybe dream, of course, but it depends. It's also McLaren say, and his team played a role. And but McLaren did not have a structure, a program.
Right.
So they called me up, also because of the history I have with them.
Yeah.
And so now I am in the process of setting up this structure, picking up young talents, which is really difficult for two reasons. One, because, you know, a talent is not only the fastest guy in karting, he's the best guy. You've got to read between the lines, because to be good, you need more than one thing. Resilience, you need motivation, you need, to get the best out until you got the difficult days, hard work, and so on and so forth. So pick the best, and it is difficult because you have, let's say, the power to maybe make somebody a potential champion that somebody else does not get this opportunity. So it's kind of hard.
But sometimes when you have knockbacks or you hear the word no it's only applicable for that day and that time. And that rejection is, okay, it's not right today, but that you as a person, and I've had no's, you have to go away, revisit, relearn, and come back again.
Yeah, it is true. You can imagine how many emails I get. Some are from people who have no chance without a problem like this, because the target is to get the new Lando Norris and US Grand. So we're looking at finding the la creme de la creme, or the needle in the haystack.
Needles in the haystack, so the English phrase when it's like 1 in a million. You're trying to find.
Yeah, and of course you pick like the best tissue body is for this World and European Karting Championship, because if you see the stars of today, they always all of them have won of the championship, but not all the European Championship. They're the Formula One standard.
How old are they when they're doing karting at that level?
Karting, you start from 8, 12, about 2, so slow, but it's power. Yeah, wow. Not too long ago, but some 14 years about. That was a representative of Ferrari, so that the representative even from Audi who is going to enter in 2026. So everybody was there looking for the best people now. And so it was a very good time to get drivers. They're really watching some of these from the board and giving you the opportunity. But you know, sometimes I've seen people, you get the opportunity and you feel accomplished. And again, I had a very wise granny and very smart. And in fact, one time in my career, in 1986, I was about to start race from one of the throughout the season. Grabber was the world champion team. He did one driver. One on second year. That was he did the first 1,000 championship. And I got a phone call from here last time. And he said, we need the drivers from this race, which went good. He said, so, this was the country. Can you get on it? I was a 4-hour record, one of the best leaders. I saw 3,000 championship votes that it fell apart because I could not complete it, but I was super happy.
That must have been tough. If you're leading a championship, you get a phone call.
Yeah, this was one other thing that I would tell my young self is not to get distracted, because this thing for
Distracted by the Formula One, so
Yeah.
you should have. In hindsight now, you'd wish you finished the
yeah,
championship.
because that thing, correct. That thing was, let's wait 2 more races because they put another driver. It instead was supported by BMW. It's a long story, however, it was going to happen, and I just lost concentration. And this is, I hate regrets, so I don't regret. But if I have to speak to my young self, no. But going back to my grandfather, she gave me a very small golden, say it in English. Think that you hung on your neck, your little chain.
Okay.
With engraved
Yeah.
from the target, always more. And initially, actually always more, it was with a plus. So initially I thought, what the hell does it mean? She's old, but not that old. And the meaning was, you made it to Formula One, but this is the start, it's not the end. And this was a very meaningful thing, which I think should apply to everybody.
No, it's true. I think people think they've achieved, but that level of success and that achievement is only the beginning. And you see that in Formula One now, where drivers come in, and it's such a steep learning curve from, say, B to A, and once they're in, they think great, but then they've got to go again.
So the balance is very fine between being too arrogant and being too not setting high enough targets. It's I think the whole career long is a balance between wanting too much or wanting too little. Because if you want too much, first of all, you think you're too good. You never learn. Because nobody's perfect, not even Ayrton. Senna was that. And actually, what I learned from them was the self-criticism. You know, what
they
could
can
I
do
have done better, even if you win a race. And on the other hand, if you set your targets unachievable, you end up like a frustrated person, which is not fun.
So what you learned from the Ayrton experience was being self-critical to kind of go, hey, I've just won the race, but what could I have done better?
Self-criticism is something really, not criticism, a proper assessment. So work, first assess the areas which could be improved, and believe me, motorsport is the sport of excuses, because you driving a machine is composed by a number of components, and there's so many good excuses to put forward to justify any success. So even with yourself, because nobody wants to admit that you could have done better. So it's really difficult to hear this or room for improvement.
And I think what you said before is true. It's like there's always room for improvement. So it's like you could do a little bit better here. You could lose a little bit of weight. You could train a little bit harder. You could have studied the circuit a little bit more. You could walk the track 3 times instead of twice. And for me, with life and business, there's always that one thing that you can do. And I think for me, what separates the outstanding to the average is those that do that one thing more.
Yeah, once I read an interview of Mike Tyson, and he said, I wake up every morning and go running at 4 o'clock a.m. with my competitor, my competitor. And somebody then asked me, what about if he also wakes up at 4 and does the same? They get 2, 1. It's just motivation. But another thing I learned from person Senna is you have a lot of power in motivating people around you. So sometimes a team member does something wrong, ask yourself, was he in a condition to do things properly, to have the shoulder enough to make him feel part of the game. And so I saw that there's a lot of power that each one of us gets to actually get the best, not only out of yourself, but also out of the people around you. So if somebody is doing a mistake, ask yourself, I have done anything to put him in a condition not to make the mistake.
That's such valuable advice. When I think back of my career, where some of my management team used to say to me, Paul, you've got to be so careful about how you behave and what you say in front of people and to people, because you can be either so demotivational or so motivational. So that's great advice, Emanuele. Thank you.
But you always said the right thing, so how can you have this down? You always want it perfect.
I always keep trying, because tomorrow's another day and sometimes things don't go to plan. And in life, so many people have struggles and challenges, and we have to find solutions, whether that's prayer, meditation, faith, exercise, healthy eating, or a balance of everything. It's just doing a little bit of everything to be perfect. Not that we are.
Sometimes you have to deal with hot days.
And I'm so sorry I've dragged you out of this car. I better let you go and finish your racing, and so much for today. Thank you very much for being on the channel. Thank you, Emanuele.
Keep pushing, guys.